My name is Joe James, and I'm from Austin, Texas.
Well, there ain't no whiskey left in this town. So there ain't no whiskey, so I'm gonna shut it down. Well, my daddy's gone, mama's gone too, and all I ever had.
Yeah, so I started playing music when I was 8 years old, and because my dad's a bass player, so I started playing bass guitar. But in our house, we worshipped the Beatles, and still to this day, I'm obsessed with the Beatles, and it's kind of like my go-to for. It's like my Bible of songwriting. With the music scene here, have I seen anything change? I mean, in my group and community, it's a community and very loving and like super open. I was welcomed, me personally, very warmly here in Austin. So and I come from another place that's the entertainment capital of the world, Los Angeles, that love it to death, but I wasn't very welcome there. So when I got here, it was cool to see that community and how everybody supports each other. And in my group, it's great, man. Like I love Austin for that reason, because of the love for live music and that community. It's just like there's nothing like it. LA is definitely not like it. Shoot, man. I would have to say, going back to the Beatles, John Lennon. It would totally be John Lennon. Or I would love to see Led Zeppelin with John Bonham. I would have loved to see Ray Charles. That would have been awesome. Janis Joplin would have been cool. But if I had to pick, it would be John Lennon, because he's like my favorite songwriter ever. A reoccurring song that gets stuck in my head from time to time. No. Well, what's that song? No. No, I would say my own songs usually, because I'm always writing songs. So a song that I'm working on will get completely stuck in my head and kind of be in there, which is a great thing. Sometimes a terrible thing, because it's a terrible song and I'm like, I want to forget that song and throw it in the trash, but it's right there and it won't go away. So I would say like my own songs get stuck in my head. I try not to listen to that pop shit. So, oh man, I love Terry Blacks. I love cilantro.
Yes.
I'm just gonna leave it at cilantro. You know why? Because I could eat there every single day and never get tired of it. My wife brought it home, I think, yesterday, and I like fucking went crazy, dude. I love cilantro.
And say you're like walking your dog, how many do you think you could take on
Oh shit,
to
man.
save your wife and your dog's life?
I would try to take on all of the coyotes. I would try to beat the shit out of all of them, dude, because my wife and my dog are my life. So I would go down. Man, I would bite, swing, scratch, punch. I would kill those fucking coyotes, dude. But you mess with my dogs and my wife, I'll come after you, coyotes. Or maybe, plot twist, we join the pack. A few times where I've had fans talk to me about how they were battling with depression and things like that, and my songs help them through through one of those dark times, which was awesome, because me myself, I battle with that as well, battle with depression. So a lot of the songs are talking about getting through that, and the positivity, and kind of, surrounding yourself with people that are going to be loving and encouraging. So it's great to hear people come up and say that your songs helped them through a dark time. So that's like the biggest compliment. There's a few things that kind of went into that. So funny story, going back to Los Angeles. I played at the Whiskey, and we recorded the video, and I was up there playing, and I always just like, I battled with depression, and I kind of like isolated myself with music, and music's the thing that got me through that, and my wife Chelsea, which we've been together for like 15 years now. But that was the thing that helped me. But I was, while battling with depression, weight gain is kind of one of the things that happened. But I saw myself on a video playing guitar, and I told myself I wanted to be the best me up there, speaking to a crowd and speaking these words of love and acceptance and self-love and taking care of yourself and being good to yourself. And I'm up there not doing that because I'm battling with depression and eating my life way, basically. So yeah, that's kind of what pushed me. I saw a video. I was like, no, I need to be an example, and I need to center myself, start working on my health, start thinking about me and getting myself better and being the best me for myself first and everyone around me. And then I actually went, here's another story that tags onto that. I went into borderline anorexia because I went too much into it, and I started exercising too much, and I stopped eating for a little while, and then I started battling with that because depression kind of set in again, and I went the opposite way. Instead of eating, I just didn't eat. So that's a whole nother story. But then for about 8 to 10 years now, I've been this way, fine, and like just good with who I am, and just really centered in myself and comfortable with who I am now. When I'm with my full band electric guitar, I try to stick with Texwatt amplifiers from Driftwood. Not Driftwood. They're from Dripping Springs. Yeah, and they're awesome, amazing amps. And Dr. John guitars. And it's a Strat guitar with some humbuckers in it. Super cool. This one here is a Guild, and I just bought this thing. Super nice. And this other one is an Epiphone Masterbuilt. It's like a 1930s reissue. If it was the 1930s, I probably wouldn't be playing it here tonight. My favorite places, well, I'm going to say Geraldine's at Hotel Van Zandt because I have a residency there every Thursday at 8 p.m. Birds, Bubbles, and Blues with Joe James. So that's my number one until they kick me out, but they won't. And I would say I miss the Continental. I love the Continental Club. I love Sea Boys. Saxon is awesome. Antones, I played there a couple times. I love Antones. Yeah, those ones are, I would say, my top faves. So you can check me out at www.joejamesmusic.com. That's JOJAMES.com. That's where you can find me has links to iTunes, Spotify, and then my merch store. You can go to merch store and buy some vinyl, some t-shirts, some hats, some koozies, some beanies, all the cool stuff. JoeJamesMusic.com. That's where you can find everything.
Coyote Spear?
A Coyote Spear? No, we teamed up with the Coyotes, man.
Whiskey.